Hey guys, so we have just completed, Patrick and I, our first game of Hitler's Reich, and we are here to give you the verdict. And it's a bit of a sad story. The Anyway, Patrick was playing the Allies, and I was playing the Axis side. Patrick can give you a rundown on how the game went. How long did it go for, Patrick? We played the
I think
campaign
we started at 2 and it's 4:30,
for
so 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. So Patrick will give you a rundown on how the game progressed, and then we'll give you our verdict at the end.
Okay, so it started off with the first turn was an Axis Operation Barbarossa and went quite successfully and used blitzkrieg actions actually to move even further. You captured Leningrad on the first turn. And I'd say throughout the rest of the game, the Axis spent quite a lot on taking Soviet territory and threatening the auto win by taking all 6 of our Soviet production centers, which I actually wasn't aware of until David reminded me partway through the game that I was actually at risk of that. So then they went on and took Moscow, and they had some good generals and events. They got Tiger tanks, so they were able to be quite successful there. So while that, and they reduced the Allied hand for quite some time by holding the North Sea. At the same time, the Allies focused more on holding their hand back together by playing war production, and then slowly, and then critically, they played Vichy France defects, which gave them a whole heap of territory in North Africa, and then they just slowly started taking back North Africa. With fleets. They had fleet carriers, which really helped them out. Critically, Enigma, which I'm sure David agrees was pretty effective.
Very effective.
So that was another nice allied event. Picked it up on the reshuffle, so I didn't actually buy for it. And then the Axis decided to invest heavily on pushing forward, going for the auto win or threatening the auto win. They did so by using blitzkrieg actions, which really put stress on their hand. They couldn't quite pull it off, which meant that the Allies were then able to use their strategic bombing events and then the capture of Italy to reduce their hand size to 0. So they kind of got themselves into a corner trying to win early, and that's how the game ended. It ended in 43.
So before I give you my comments on it, Patrick, what do you think of the game?
Oh, it's a blast! Yeah, it's really refreshing being able to play a game of the ETO in 2 hours or just over 2 hours, and it has a lot of flavour. It's actually the cards are a lot of fun. It's just a really fun, light game. Yeah.
Yep, and I've got to say, I've made a few comments on it regarding my solo play, but the face-to-face has cemented for me that this is a very good game. And I know it's taken a bit of flack, the designers have taken a bit of flack, but we've got the rules nailed down pretty much.
Pretty much immediately, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And
no issues.
no issues at all. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised at all the fuss about the rules. I thought it was an excellent game, and as Patrick said, it's as long as you go in with the right mindset, it's a easy, relatively fast-playing game, very card-based, obviously, with plenty of options. So I think there's plenty of replayability. We were commenting that we didn't get to see half the cards, if that, the event cards. So when you come back to another game, you can look at different cards for different strategies and so forth. And even though it's highly abstract, it still had flavour. The Russians nearly fell early on in the game, and which would have, basically taken the Allies out of the war, really. And then there was a push up Sicily and so forth. It was very flavourful. No, I think it's a terrific, fast-playing war game that would suit, seasoned war gamers and newcomers alike. Just on the particulars of the game, as Patrick mentioned, Enigma we thought was very powerful for the Allies, which I think it was obviously in real life, so that's pretty cool. Tiger tanks and Rommel were strong cards for the Axis players.
I think Rommel's probably the strongest general. Just the ability to force one of the Allied 6 dice to get re-rolled is
Patrick was, I've got to say though, the things were looking dire for the Allies early on, and Patrick rolled to save, was it Archangel?
Archangel,
He rolled
3 6s.
3 6s to save it, and that would have put him within 2 production centres,
An auto loss.
Stalingrad, and of an auto loss. And that really was the turning point of the game, wasn't it?
It felt like it. Yeah.
Certainly with the game early on, the Axis do feel like it was, they have all the cards, so to speak, and it feels like it represents that part of the war really well. So even though it's slightly scripted, it's only very minor, but it translates really well. So all in all, big thumbs up from me, and Patrick too.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely thumbs up.
Okay, thanks guys.